I have given you endless approval, and it doesn't fill you up because you're broken.
I don't like you. It's really, really freaking cold on the top floor of a triplex in downtown Manhattan. And as Matthew would yell, "You're gonna send me to prison, Shiv," I could hear like, "Shiv, Shiv, Shiv, Shiv," bouncing off the walls of all the buildings around, which made me laugh because I thought if anyone actually could hear us arguing, they actually think that this husband's wife sent him to prison.
The difficulty of that scene is I used a lot of practicals. I let the practicals be the main lights.
It really was just as exciting to watch it, to film it, to edit it, as it was to first read it. I mean, it really was a beautifully realized moment, I think, in this show.
My name is Ken Eluto. I'm one of the editors on Succession.
My name is Patrick Capone. I'm the director of photography on Succession.
I'm Robert Pulcini. I'm the co-director of the episode Tailgate Party, Succession.
And I'm Shari Berman. I'm also co-director, and this is Variety's Making a Scene.
I wonder if we shouldn't clear the air.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, the first time we read the script, this big moment wasn't in the script. It went through a few iterations, and when this scene finally arrived, Shari and I were just overjoyed because the writing was so unique for Succession, because Succession is so much about subtext. It's not really about direct confrontation. These two people dance around so many things, and to have something so confrontational with these two was just such a gift.
I think you shouldn't have even married me, actually.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the actual fuck? This fight was a long time coming for Shiv and Tom to have finally an explosive moment to really say what they thought about each other, and also to express their deepest, rawest, most vulnerable emotions.
The first thing I said to everybody is, this is Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. This is Georgia and Martha. And I think that kind of was the thing that was going on in our head as we were thinking about how to shoot it, where to shoot it, and how to proceed with it.
They're both to me my lowest fucking ebb. My dad was dying. What was I supposed to say?
Perhaps no?
I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for that.
We were doing night shoots maybe for 4 days straight.
We had to shoot at night. We had to shoot over the course of at least a week. And we needed it to feel very fluid. So if somebody walked out of the room and went onto the balcony, we had to remember where everyone was so that when we came back the next day, it made sense. We didn't want it to be a big cutaway mess. And we drew diagrams of where people encounter each other and what conversations they would have, so that by the time this huge explosive fight happens, everybody's right where they should be. But the actual filming of that language back and forth that the actors achieved so brilliantly happened in one day, one night.
The night before, Matthew had learned his lines but wanted to sort of just practice them, and I had not yet learned the fight scene, even though we were shooting it the next day. I hadn't had a chance. And so what we did is every time we had a break between the scenes that we were shooting the day before, just sort of kept running the lines, and it was really fun. It felt like rehearsing a play because we just go outside and yell at each other and then come back in and pretend as if nothing had happened.
Yeah, you really kept me safe while you ran off to fuck the phone book.
Oh, fuck off. You're a hick.
We wanted it to be a fishbowl where the sound, when you see it from inside looking out, you just see this argument going on and you don't really know what's going on. So that was a very purposeful choice by the directors.
We really pushed for this confrontation to occur on the balcony. The way that balcony is kind of very narrow and runs the length of the entire party, we thought would really be just an amazing place to stage the scene, because it was originally written in the kitchen.
We're a married couple, so we know a lot about fighting in different places. And there's something about having that kind of an argument where there are people watching, let alone in this case, the most influential people. This is a small group of very important, influential people. And to go to a place where you're fighting, even if people can't hear you, they can see you, they know your body language, means that that's a fight of some kind of epic emotional proportions that you wonder, can you come back from that?
Because your whole family is striving and parochial.
That's not a fair characterization.
Oh,
It's not...
no? Well, your mom loves me more than she loves you because she's cracked. We cross-shot. We often cross-shoot. Maybe 2 or 3 takes each side.
Well, one of the things that we are very proud of on Succession is we give our actors as much freedom as we can. We don't block it. We really protect the performances. And I always give them the ability to go wherever they want to go. So having said that, I needed to light the entire balcony. I also needed to light it in such a way that we can look into the apartment and not see lights. I'm very fortunate that I have a great team behind us and we work very fast and we've learned to hide lights everywhere. And then luckily we had access to the roof on top since this was the penthouse. So we were able to create a little bit of a moonlight coming from up top. I'm not sure if they use any of the cuts, but we did do several passes from inside the apartment through people. And then you would see this argument going on outside.
There was some stuff from indoors looking out at them on the patio. And there were some shots of them, people looking in, watching them talk. And initially I'd done a pass where I used a piece of that where Tom's talking about you were going to send me to prison, then you gave me that crappy wine, because he was really screaming at that point. It was kind of like in the middle of the scene. So I cut inside, I kind of muted the sound a little bit, but you could see people listening and watching them.
You know,
We
we definitely
tried a
tried.
more like extreme cut, and it felt like it let the tension go a little bit. It was almost funny, which was a tone you didn't want to introduce there because it's almost funny, like, oh my God, like what the hell is going on out there?
And then you fobbed me off with that fucking undrinkable wine, and you won't have my baby because you never even thought, honestly, you'd be with me more than like 4 fucking years.
You offered to go to jail, Tom.
That night was the first night that I told the broader sort of crew community that I was pregnant, which was really fun to be like, oh, by the way, yeah, when he says this line, means something different to me as the actor right now.
At that point, we knew that Sarah Snook was pregnant, but we didn't know that the character, that Shiv Roy, was going to be pregnant in the show yet. There was, it would be cool if she was pregnant, but it hadn't been written into the script yet.
At the time, Tom doesn't know that she's pregnant. There's so many different layers that are being dealt with that, yes, they're being honest, but there's still things that they're not saying to each other.
And I think you are maybe not a good person to have children.
Well, that's not very nice to say, is it?
Oh, I found it really upsetting watching it. I felt really sad for Shiv and how she couldn't, the dissolution of her marriage, and she just really has nobody, and really felt genuinely that he did take away the last 6 months she could have had with her dad, and how hurt they both were. I felt really sad for them.
You took away the last 6 months I could have had with my dad.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. You sucked up to him and you cut me out.
Matthew and I are having a lot of fun. Like, it's a game. We're playing. None of it's real. You yell at each other and you get all upset and then go like, ooh, spicy. That's fun. Got to yell at you.
I like to, with actors, let them put it down, whatever way they're feeling. And with these actors, it's so brilliant that you are like, it's a gift every time they read the lines, and then just make slight adjustments, almost like sculpting.
I remember having a conversation with Sarah about at what point are tears undermining her power in the scene. Little things like that. It is kind of this incredible tennis match of words between them, and they're both such skilled players. And that's really what we wanted to maintain, is like that level of nobody's winning here. Both are losing, actually, and where they end up after. And I think Succession is filled with a lot of very different actors with very different approaches. I would say of the whole group, these two are the most in sync with how they approach a scene. They're a dream when they're together.
Glad we cleared the air, huh? Feel good now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking great. Tip top.
Jesse pays equal respect to everyone on that show. And it really, and because of that, people are so willing to give. And it really, I've had a lot of good experiences and I've had a lot of bad experiences. Succession is one of the best. And I have to attribute that to the way people are treated.
I think that's the brilliance of Succession, is that everybody is working at their best. The actors, the writers, the wardrobe designers, the production designers, the cinematographers, the camera operators are incredible. There isn't a weak link. Everybody wants to bring their best. And when everybody brings their best, it's special.
You don't deserve me, and you never did.